My mom said I was very astute. Always been very attentive to my work, wanted to be excellent at what I did. I had a good family upbringing and I always wanted to make them proud. I couldn't wait for the day that I went to my home church and they got to announce the graduates. I still remember that day when they announced, because I had the highest GPA of that graduating class. And my grandmother, I saw her sit up and just kind of poke her little chest out. My family all push college because you're a good school, you get a good job, and you work very hard for your employer, make money, pay your bills, but that's what you do. You go to school to get a good job. Walking across stage is great, but seeing that email at our first invoice of what's due, that kind of brings you to reality. For me, I didn't see any other way to fund school. The thought is, hey, these loans, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. And then when you get that paper, like, oh no, this is not okay. I do have many friends and many persons and many colleagues who stopped going to school because of the debt. They had to. Before my current employment as the operations director on the Rise CDC, I worked as a staff pastor in outreach for the Greater Piney Grove Baptist Church for 13 years. When I was here on staff, I was able to apply for the public servant loan forgiveness. I was grateful for the income-driven plan, but I still carried that yoke and that burden around that I had to eventually make this payment, that it could come back on me, and what was I going to do? At that time, I was a mother. I had a child. Trying to see how I can walk and be true to my calling, true to the desire to go to school, and also know that I had to still be fiscally responsible for my debt. It was right at 99 and some change, so it was $100,000. I wanted to have some opportunities for my son, whether it was soccer or just activities. I wanted to do those things, but financially I could not. And I remember them calling saying, Miss Harris, it's a time to renew, but when we called, it said something about a zero balance. And when the young lady told me that my loans were forgiven, I still remember smiling because I didn't believe it. This old Baptist girl want to holler. I can breathe because I can now live. I can now live. And so needless to say, the forgiveness came at a great time because I needed another car. I needed a viable transportation because you can't get to work if you don't have a transportation.
Is everybody ready to give me yes, sir?
Yes, sir!
I remember when driving home and seeing Ross Family Karate. Like, you know what? Hey, no, let's try karate.
Yeah.
7,
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Now I can say I'm a karate mom, and it feels good because I can afford to do extra things with my money that will pretty much enhance my child.
Good job, change sides.
Most persons are going to school to be community leaders, community helpers, and so you want to encourage that because we need that. By loosening that yoke of financial burden, you're really going to really feed into this economy. Those up and coming persons will be able to not be saddled with debt, but can make their first home purchases, their first car purchases, maybe start a business because they have the capital and the funds to do so. There is something about forgiveness, a debt that you cannot pay being forgiven. There's something about that. And I pray that other people get that same feeling I got when I got that letter of forgiveness.